guys, it's Jessii V. So today I'm wearing this giant sweater jacket thing. It's literally huge because let's be real, it's freezing cold in Canada right now. I wish I could be by a beach with palm trees, but I'm stuck here in the wind, the rain, and the cold. But yeah, I feel like a giant plaid marshmallow and that's okay. Or maybe I'm about to cut some trees down, who knows? But yeah, today is a very recent story, and as you can tell by the title of the video as usual, it's quite crazy. So this past weekend, as you guys know, my boyfriend and I had our 5th anniversary together. So we went down to Toronto, which is a city near me. It's a pretty big city. I mean, if you haven't heard of Toronto, where have you been? You know, it has the CN Tower, used to be the biggest building in the world, and then other buildings in the world got taller. It's like a huge building competition, you know? But anyways, while we were in Toronto, there was a big art festival called Nuit Blanche. You've probably heard of this before. Basically, the entire city is filled with art installations. So all of the artists around town put their pieces of art wherever they want in the city, and it's really cool. Nuit Blanche is actually a French word that means all-nighter, so people literally walk around the city from 7 p.m. until like 6 in the morning the next day. I mean, the cities are packed with people looking at all of this art. Toronto became art world. There's performances, dancing, singing, paintings, crazy sculptures. Definitely a lot to look at. And the issue with this is having a large crowd in one area, bad things can happen. For example, unfortunately, there was a stabbing right before midnight in Toronto. My boyfriend and I weren't there in the area, but we were at the next street over. So we saw all of these ambulances and police cars driving by. Everybody was freaking out. And apparently a 17-year-old was stabbed, and then the group of people like ran away from the crime scene, and they still can't find them. So that's a little unsettling. I mean, they might have by now. I checked like 2 days ago on this and they haven't found the suspects yet. But a stabbing in a large crowd is really scary. And the other really unfortunate thing that happened is we have this massive Toronto sign. You might have seen this before as well. I'll put a picture here. It's really pretty. It lights up at night. Everybody loves to take Instagram pictures with it. And on the night of Nuit Blanche, people decided to vandalize this sign. They literally took permanent markers and wrote all over the signs, and they were so stupid because they put their Twitter names with the vandalizing, so police literally knew who vandalized the sign because their Twitter handle was there. Like, do you commit a crime and then put a note with your phone number on it? Like, you're literally leading the police right to your front doorstep. But people don't think. The good thing is that all the vandalizing was taken off this sign, so that was cool. As fun as Nuit Blanche can be, and hopefully I'm saying that right, there's just been a history of things occurring during this event. Oh, like last year. Last year there was also another stabbing, so that's quite a coincidence. And apparently there was this huge mob of people that were attacking police officers, like throwing beer bottles at them, pushing them up against a wall. There's actually videos of this huge mob going after the police officers. I don't know what runs through people's minds, but why do we have to be violent? Like, come on. But anyways, this was like a little introduction to what I'm actually going to be getting into, which is my story time for today, which obviously took place at Nuit Blanche. That's why I'm talking about it. Because there were giant crowds at this event, I was literally being squished between people. Like, people were right here, behind me. I felt like a sardine in a can. The entirety of Toronto was packed. We were like a bunch of carrots in a carrot patch. We were like magnets all being pushed together. And I am super claustrophobic and I have some serious anxiety, and I just don't like being squished. I need my air. I need my space. So I was like, Kyle, we have to escape like right now. I cannot be like squished for any longer or I will die. So we found this escape through this alleyway. It was super dark, super creepy, but I would rather go through a creepy alleyway than be squished to death, you know what I mean? So we walked into this alleyway. We were just at kind of the entrance of it. We didn't go all the way through. We just wanted kind of a breather from the crowd. And at the very end of the alleyway, we see this dark, skinny figure sort of pacing back and forth, which is literally like something from a horror movie. And she was slowly sort of creeping towards us, so I saw it was a woman. Or maybe, I think she was like, she looked 17 or 18. She wasn't that old. And because she was getting slightly closer to us, I was able to see some light shine on her face. And oh my gosh, when I tell you guys, she looked seriously distraught. Like, it looked like she had been crying. Her face was all swollen and red. Her mascara was running down her cheeks. Her eyes were like bloodshot red. She looked terrified for some reason. And seeing someone like that is really unsettling to you because you're not sure if you should run over and help help them because they're so freaked out, or if you should literally run and get help. So Kyle and I stood there for a second so confused as to what was going on, and that's when she started talking to herself. And the things she was saying were just so strange. She would say things like,
"It's okay, no one knows I'm here. No one knows I'm here."
And she kept saying, "No one knows I'm here." I don't know why. And then she proceeded to say,
"No one can see me like this. No one can see me like this."
Now, my first thought when I heard her talking to herself, I was like, okay, she's probably on drugs or really intoxicated, because normal people don't pace back and forth talking to themselves, obviously, right? And because Nuit Blanche is a huge event, there's police officers like everywhere, like on every corner of the street, there's a police officer or a security guard or something. So basically, Kyle and I were waiting for the crowd to clear so we can go get one of these police officers to go help her, because she looked very strange. She needed some help. And this is where things get weirder, because as we're waiting for the crowd to clear to get her help, she stops pacing back and forth, stands in the middle of the alley with her arms by her side, her eyes widen, and she starts like shaking and making these like creepy moaning sounds, and her head's like going everywhere, and I'm like, what the heck is happening right now? So these people who kind of were walking beside us stopped to look at this girl because they saw what was happening as well, and they asked us like, what is she doing? And we were like, we have no idea. And these were like two guys with us, so they walked up to her and they were like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And she would not respond. She was just like staring deep into their soul and kept like moving really weirdly. So then they walked past her a little bit further into the alley, and this is so weird. There were these candles in a circle in the alleyway, completely burnt out. And whenever you see candles in a circle, what do you first think about? To me, I think about some creepy, weird ritual. You know, in movies when they like summon spirits or demons or something? That's literally what it looked like. So before I even said it, one of those two guys were like,
This girl's possessed. I think this girl is literally possessed.
Now, is there any definite way of knowing that she was possessed? No. She could have easily been intoxicated on drugs, like I said. She could have had some sort of mental issue. Maybe she was homeless and just had the candles out to keep her warm or to give her light. I don't really know how much warmth candles can give you, but maybe she just happened to place them in a circle. Like, I don't know. But these guys kept saying she's possessed, and I kind of started believing it because the way she was acting was so odd, and the circle of candles just kind of proved that to me, that maybe she was possessed. I mean, who really knows, right? And something else kind of weird that she did was sometimes in between her shaking, she would stop and be like,
oh my gosh, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Like, you know when people are possessed and sometimes they come back to their normal self and they're like, what the heck just happened? Like, that's weird. But we finally got the police to come over, and it was so funny because the two guys were literally telling the police officers,
listen, this girl's possessed. You have to get her to a hospital. She is possessed.
And the police officer was like,
She's not possessed. She's fine. She's not possessed.
Like, he was looking at those guys like they were crazy. Like they were the crazy ones and not the girl. Because, I mean, it's a little out there to say someone's possessed. So to end this story off, I'm just gonna say, who knows? The police officers took her away. I don't know what happened to her after that. But regardless, I am gonna name the title of this story time, I Met a Possessed Girl, because I think I might have. I really, honestly think I might have. What do you guys think? Like, what are the candles for? If the candles in the circle weren't there, I would have been like, okay, she's probably just on something. But those candles are evidence. They are proof, okay? And there were 6. There were 6 of them. And when the police officer came and talked to her, she like completely went back to normal, like nothing even happened. She was like, oh yes, sir, I'm fine. I'm fine, sir, it's okay. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not. So yeah, that is my very weird story time for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. By the way, there are still plenty of tour tickets available right now. Just so you guys know, there's a lot happening at this show that I'm doing. There's a live Q&A. There's 3 never before seen videos. There's dancing, there's a meet and greet, there's all kinds of just awesome stuff happening at this show, so if you're able to go, you definitely should. It's in Canada, Ontario, so London, Ottawa, Windsor, Toronto, Niagara, and Montreal, which is in Quebec. Or if you're near any of the borders, you should definitely come as well. I would love to meet all of you guys, so I will put the ticket links in the description below. Definitely check that out. My other social media information is down there as well. And yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome spooky day, and until next time guys, bye!